Hi, this is Jean Hall with Right to Ignite, and I'm here to try to answer another question that Christian authors, or excuse me, children's authors often ask me. This one is why is rhythm and rhyme so important in picture books? Whoa, I don't know if I can finish this one in 5 or 6 minutes or not, but I'll try. Picture books are written to be read aloud. They are intended as an experience for adults and their children to share. And because they're intended to be read aloud, the sound of the language is critical. More important, I would say, well, at least as important as the story itself, the sound of the language. It carries mood, it tells us, it gives us clues as to what kind of story this is going to be and how we should react. Should we get scared with this story, or feel happy or silly or peaceful with this story? The language, the sound of the language sets that atmosphere. And picture books introduce children to language and to the beauty of our language. The English language has many poetic devices in it, the sounds of the words that we put together, and it takes a lot of conscientious hard work to get the sounds exactly the way you want them. As you're writing a picture book, you must read it aloud. You must get other people to read it aloud to you so you can hear not just the meaning of the words, but the sound, the music of the language. Now, in that respect, rhyme is what most people think of, excuse me, concerning making a children's picture book. They should rhyme. Well, only if, as a writer, you have studied rhyme, practice, and you are good at it. Rhyme is important to some picture books, but rhyme without rhythm is hollow. It sounds artificial, pasted, or something. I'm having trouble finding a word to describe it, but rhyme, good rhyme, memorable rhyme, musical rhyme requires rhythm. Rhythm is the cadence, the beat. And yes, some picture books have a sing-song kind of rhythm, and that sets the mood. And that's fine for some books, but not all books need that kind of rhythm, but they must have rhythm. A sentence must have a rhythm, a flow, an ebb that carries the meaning of the story, of the words in that sentence. It just is sort of a river that carries the words along. And rhythm taps into our body rhythms, and again, to create emotion and how we should emotionally react to or feel with this story. I want to read this. In my opinion, rhythm is just as or more important than rhyme to me. I want to read this silly little picture book, Snow Day, and it is silly. The illustrations are bold. There are very few words on each page. But as I read through it, I want you to try to feel a rhythm. Now, this is not poetic. This is not a rhymed verse. But I want you to feel a rhythm of the sentences, the structure. Look, said Sam. Where? Said Pam. Outside, said Will. Why? Said Jill. Snow, said Sam, Pam, Will, and Jill. Oop, I skipped a page. Are you feeling any rhythm? Let's try one more. Long undies, said Sam. Boots, said Pam. Mittens, said Will. Scarfs, said Jill. Sleds, said Sam, Pam, Will, and Jill. There's nothing rhyming in there, but do you feel a rhythm? That the words, the tone of voice, it's not just my voice, it's the words themselves rise and fall. Now, That's a silly, fun kind of rhythm. But you can also have a lullaby kind of rhythm or a tender kind of rhythm. The point is, in a picture book, every single word counts. You cannot have one if, one and, one I doesn't play a role in the story. And part of that role is the rhythm that is set by reading those sentences out loud. And the rhythm carries the rhyme along. For just a minute about rhyme. There are two types, and most of us automatically think of end rhyme, the rhyme that comes at the end of the sentence, like Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. The sentence ends with words that have the same vowel and ending sounds, and that's a rhyme. But there's also internal rhyme. If you're writing a story or a book that doesn't need or doesn't have end rhyme, you can still fill the sentences with internal rhyme, which adds to the rhythm. You have to strategically place those rhyming words so that they, again, ride on the wake of the rhythm. I'm going to read one page to you out of my book, God's Blessings of Fall. It is not a rhyming book, but it is filled with internal rhymes. So I would like you to listen for the vowel sounds. There are some I sounds and sounds and E sounds. Listen for the repeated vowel sounds to get the rhyme. A squirrel steps lightly, slightly on crisp leaves. Crackle, crunch. He snatches fallen acorns and nuts and stuffs them into his chubby cheeks. His little nose twitches, his bushy tail swishes, his tiny feet leap and scamper to the top of the tallest tree. Now, did you catch a bunch of consonants? Did you hear all those T's and those crackle, crunch, CR sounds? But did you hear the vowels that repeated, that rhyme with each other? The whole word doesn't rhyme, but the vowel sound carries, kind of hops along from one word to the other. The squirrel steps lightly, slightly on crisp leaves. He snatches fallen acorns and nuts and stuffs them into his chubby cheeks. His nose twitches, his tail swishes. Can you hear the repeated vowel sounds? Those are internal rhymes, and they make a picture book musical. That's what a picture book should be. Ooh, and my little dog says it's time for me to be finished. That helps. Bye-bye.